Welcome to Photography 101, Composition and Cameras. I have 16,650 images on my computer, with an additional 4,000 videos. I think anything I put that much effort into, I should take the time to get better at. In the past, when we shot pictures with film, we were more discerning because every picture cost you time and money. But now we live in an age where we can shoot as many pictures as we want. And as a result, we have gigabytes of visual vomit. Don't get me wrong, there is always more than one right answer. So take a lot of pictures, just delete the bad ones. Why do we take pictures in the first place? I think it's because we get caught up in the emotion of a moment and want to remember it. So we take a picture. But our pictures rarely capture the emotion we experienced because we don't think about the experience enough to narrow it down and take a picture of the thing that embodied the emotion. We just shotgun the whole room. I think we do that because we are uncomfortable making decisions. Sometimes that's okay, and it's actually useful if you're trying to document an event. But if you want to tell a story and capture the emotion that moved you, then you need to have a subject. Selecting a subject requires you to make a decision. We don't like to make those decisions. To decide requires us to say that something or someone is more important than something or someone else. Most of us are uncomfortable making statements like that. This is an image shot at the Super Bowl. And this is what appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I'm sorry, but good art and good stories have winners and losers. Here's a shot of the children's library and the good work that is happening there. But to fully appreciate the change that the library makes in an individual child's life, you need to select a child whose story you want to tell. Composition is a tool we use to tell stories. It helps us choose who the winners are and who the losers are. There are many principles you can use to compose your stories or art. Dominance and subordinates, contrast, leading lines, symmetry, balance, framing. But tonight, we're only going to talk about one principle of composition. If you use this principle well, it takes care of many of the others. The rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is not really a rule at all. It's more of an observation. It was first documented in the late 1700s. This observation is that people prefer things in thirds or threes. In art, the rule of thirds states that if you divide your image in thirds, you will create areas of greater interest. However, it's not only observable in visual arts, it's all around us. For example, the three-act play that traces back to Aristotle. Three characters cause tension and interest. The love triangle. The Three Stooges. The Three Musketeers. Charlie's Angels. How about Alvin and the Chipmunks? The Three Amigos, the Three Little Pigs, Three Blind Mice, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the Three Tenors, Harry Potter, Ron and Hermione, 3 Meals a Day, the Triple Crown, Triangulation. You get the picture. However, there are no scientific studies or psychological studies to support it. It's just an observation. I've wondered why it works. I've tried to figure it out for a long time. The conclusion I've come to is this. We came here that way. It's left over from heaven. It is in us. It makes us comfortable and feels like home. We are hardwired from eons of threes. Let me show you what I mean. 3 symbolizes wholeness, completion, and perfection. We start our lives with trimesters. Man, woman, and child make a family. When God wants to emphasize something, it is often repeated 3 times. 3 witnesses, the Hosanna shout, 3 wise men, 3 more wise men, the first presidency, the temple apron, priesthood offices, 3 degrees of glory. Three degrees of the celestial kingdom. And last, but certainly not least, the 3 members of the Godhead. So now that we know how to capture emotion and tell stories, and we know the why behind it, let's look at a few mechanics of picture taking. The best pictures are taken by the best cameras, right? Wrong. The best pictures are taken by the best photographers. What do all of these images and magazine covers have in common? They were all shot with an iPhone. In fact, the Essence cover with Naomi Campbell was completely set up and shot by herself of herself. So what is the best camera? A phone or a traditional DSLR camera? I think the best camera is the one you have with you. Since I always have my phone, it is my best camera. In fact, for most of us, our phone is the best camera we'll ever own. So, how do you take pictures like these with a phone? Like I said, good pictures are more about you, the photographer, than they are about your camera. Here are just a few tips to help you. Every step begins with thinking. First, think about your story. Plan your composition, check the light and exposure, and move yourself or your subject if you need to. Never backlight a person unless it is on purpose, especially a Black person. Now, tell the story. Think about the story you're trying to tell. Feel the emotion, and then find the picture that tells it. Compose the shot. Think about the rule of thirds, and pick your winners. Fill the frame. Think about how your photo will be viewed, vertically or horizontally, and then shoot it that way so it fills the frame. Hold still. Think about how to keep the camera steady. Use 2 hands, brace against a wall, or use a monopod. Then have a strategy for pushing the button so you don't shake the camera. And that's it. Just think about finding the story, feeling the emotion, picking your winners, and filling the frame. Remember, you can take 1,000 pictures, or you can take a picture worth 1,000 words.